Hey everyone, my name's Grace and welcome back to this season of Class Canceled. On this first episode, we're exploring the Ohio and Erie Canal Towpath Trail. So I hope you brought your hiking shoes. Let's hit it. The Ohio and Erie Canalway Towpath is currently 85 miles long and is planned to be 101 miles. The towpath stretches from New Philadelphia to Cleveland, where people can hike, run, or even ride their bike. We sat down with Dan Rice to learn more about the towpath and the canal and the history behind them.
So the Ohio and Erie Canal has many beautiful places that people can escape their daily worries, or if they just want to clear their minds, or if they want to enjoy nature. I would encourage them to come on down the hill. There's some great visitor facilities. There's the Mussel Store Historic Canal Museum, as well as the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad, in which bicyclists, if they're interested, they can ride so far on the Ohio and Erie Canal Towpath Trail, and then they can hop on the train and take the train back to where they started. And all of these natural amenities are literally within minutes of the University of Akron campus.
Well, I think the towpath is really nice for students because it's really close to campus. If you want to go on a hike and just enjoy a nice day outside, you don't really have to go far at all. All the other metro parks in Summit County are super nice too, but the towpath is great because it's literally less than 10 minutes from campus, and you could just walk down and have a little city hike and then enjoy the trails. So that's what's good about it for students. I like to ride my bike along the towpath. I did a lot of that this summer, but really I'm like, I should do it into the fall because honestly it's not as hot outside. It's really kind of the perfect temperature to walk along the trail for a long time and get to see a lot of it without getting too hot or sweaty. So we've made it to our first pit stop of the trail. We're right by the Mussel Store and Museum. So let's go in and check out what it has to offer.
Hi, my name is Don Gordon and I'm with the Mussel Store Museum. I'm the executive director here. The Mussel Store Museum is a historic museum about Akron's early industrial corridor, the Mussel family, and the Ohio and Erie Canal. Mussel Store and Museum is, you get recreation, you get a little bit of history, but we're also concerned about sustainability, the environment. So I think a lot of the things that you feel that are important to the world it kind of comes and it is aggregated here. You have to know about history to realize where you're going, and it's important to us because we have water here and we want clean water, so we're committed to making sure the canal is clean. We also have a pollinator garden, so we're concerned with the bugs and the bees and the butterflies here. I think people think of it as just a historic place, but it's a little more than that.
Hey everyone, my name's Grace and I'm here with Don, the executive director of the Mussel Store and Museum along Lock 15. He's going to give me a little tour inside the museum and we're going to learn some stuff.
So the museum entails a couple stories. One about the Mussels. The Mussels were the family that owned the store, hence the Mussel Store. They also lived next door. So we've got a little bit of information about the family. They immigrated from England in the early 1800s. Not only were they grocers, but they were accomplished musicians. They actually had a Mussel orchestra. All right. So then we have a little bit of information about the canal, life on the water, what it was like to live on the canal or be a passenger in the canal or during the canal days.
I heard that Main Street today was part of the canal at one point, right?
Yes, so Main Street was the Pennsylvania and Ohio, and if you turn around, you can actually see on this map.
This map is so cool. Like, just looking at like the streets that are still there and they all have the same names and stuff.
It is great. I mean, Mill Street, Exchange, West Market, everything's there. A lot of it is recognizable, especially you can see St. Bernard's was here and St. Vincent, St. Mary's was here.
We're like right about
there,
here, right?
That's where we are.
That's us.
Just gonna walk in here. The flood of 1913, which is the Midwest's greatest natural disaster, destroyed the canal forever. It affected almost most of the cities in Ohio and 15 states surrounding in the Midwest. It was a really bad March flood. It permanently closed the canal. So this is another thing that people always ask about is like, what is that coming out of the ceiling? Because we're on the canal, there's no basement. So they would have stored all the grain upstairs. So this would act as a grain chute. So if you came from Cleveland, you just came on a 24-hour trip from Cleveland, your mules are hungry, you would have come in with your Mussel bag, pulled a chain, and this would have filled up with oats. Actually, these are some of the oats that they found in the floorboards when they renovated the place. So they're a little dried out, but they're certainly not.
They don't look very good. After we took a tour of the museum, Don took us outside to get a tour of the grounds. We learned more of the history on the canals, the flowers, and he had me try a pawpaw fruit, which I was not a fan of. So we just finished up at the Mussel Store and Museum, and I actually heard that there is a train about to pull in at the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad station, so that's our next stop. So now we made it to the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad, so we're gonna head on over and get the scoop on its history. To learn more about the train, we talked with Katie Brewer, who told us about the fun events the train has to offer.
CVSR has been around for over 40 years. It was actually started in 1972 by a man named Siegfried Burling, and he started the railroad as a way to connect people from Cleveland down to Hill Farm and Village. So based off of that founding, we have a ride that's called our Hill Farm Explorer, where people can take the train to Hale Farm and get off and visit the Living History Museum. And we love that ride because it's so deeply rooted in our foundation and why the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad was founded.
So that's it for this first episode of Class Cancelled. We hope you've enjoyed it. For more of our content, follow us on social media at Class Cancelled and subscribe to the University of Akron's channel on YouTube. Well, I think I hear my train coming, so I gotta go, but we'll see you next time when class is canceled.